Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with CandiWare, and today we're going to be making best friend peanut butter and jam necklaces. Hey everyone! I am Candice, or better known as CandiWare, and welcome to my channel. So this is the place where we make adorable miniature food jewelry, and today, like I mentioned in the opening, we're going to be making best friend peanut butter and jam necklaces. So here's my half. If I could get this to focus. I know you guys have already seen this, but so here's mine, and my best friend has the other one, so I really enjoy making these. They're a lot of fun, super simple. They are a variation on the other peanut butter and jam necklace or earrings I've made, so I hope you bear with me with that. But I just wanted another fun, simple DIY to show you guys. And like always, don't forget to click on the little bell to keep up to date with CandiWare. And I always have the link in the description box below to find the kit that goes with this DIY, to find out all the different tools and items that I use for this, with pictures and links on where to buy them and everything. So please check that out first before you say anything in the description. But yes, don't forget to give this a big old thumbs up and leave me a comment telling me what you think of this DIY. And without further ado, let's get right onto the DIY, shall we? So here are all the tools, and like always, find them in the description box below. So your first step is going to be taking some Sahara clay, and you can flatten it with a rolling pin or just with your hands, and you don't want to get it too thin, or else the toast is going to be way too brittle. So make sure it's about the thickness of a couple pieces of cards. So what I'm doing here is I've made some templates, and it's really simple. If you make a couple of these, it makes this go a lot faster. So what I'm doing is using my X-Acto knife, and I am going around my toast, and I like to do the two little V's where the bread would be out of the pan a little bit first, so that you can really get the look of the toast, and then everything else is just completely flat cut aside from the very top, which you just go right around. So we're going to leave the templates on, and the reason why we're doing that is so that when we put the chalk pastel in the light and in the darker brown, that it doesn't get the very top of the toast. Now, I would like this to work a little bit better than it does, but that's alright because we'll be using some rubbing alcohol if there is a little bit of a mess, and you'll see what I mean afterwards. So you start with the lighter color, and then you're just going to go in with the darker color, and you're going to do that with both. And then this is the part where we use our X-Acto knife and pull up the templates, and then I would say keep those if you plan on making more of these, because it's just so much more helpful. So after that, I like to take off the toast and then clean off the area with either some rubbing alcohol or a baby wipe, but I use some hand sanitizer there. And then you're going to be taking your head pin and putting this in the very bottom of your toast. Now be very gentle and patient with this. It does like to pull up the top a little bit, as you can see there, but that's okay. Just keep working it down, and we'll be covering a lot of this anyways with our peanut butter and jam, so we're going to be doing that for both of them. And like I said, you just want to pull it down gently. And then you just want to fix any little messes. So at this point you can go back in with your X-Acto knife and just make everything look all nice and flat, and like how it should. You could even go back in with your paintbrush and add more color if needed. But what I'm doing is I'm going to the opposite side, and I put some sandpaper on it and then realized that I wasn't so happy with the look. So now I'm gonna go in with some rubbing alcohol and with a Q-tip, and I'm just going to be, one, pulling out any little bits of dust, and two, making sure that the chalk pastel is only around the ends and not on the inside of the toast. So once you're done that, you can go back in with your sandpaper, and I like to use a pretty toothy sandpaper for this. So again, you're just going to take your sandpaper and then just lightly dab on the back, and then we're going to flip these over. Growing up as a kid, my grandmother would always give us snacks when we came home from school for my brother and I. And my brother would always have Nutella and peanut butter, and I would always have jam and peanut butter. Oh, those were the days. Anyway, so once we flip this over, we're just going to pat it down lightly, and then you can just make sure it looks how you want it to look. And again, I'm just going to go back in with some rubbing alcohol. And then pat down with the sandpaper. So we're going to be putting on some icing. Well, technically it's the same formula as it would be for icing, and I'll leave the link for that in the description box below for the peanut butter. But it's just caramel clay with a little bit of Sahara, and you can either use some FIMO Deco Gel, or you can use some Sculpey translucent liquid, and also some different colors of chalk pastel that are in like the creamy caramel colors. And you just want to put that on, mix it all up, and then once you're happy with that, then we're going to be putting it on the toast. And as you can see here, we're also adding a little bit to a knife, and I like to put it in some extra useless clay like you can see there, because when you bake it, it really doesn't matter. So this one's a little bit simpler. For the jam, all you need is just I like to use the FIMO liquid Deco Gel, and whatever kind of color you want your jam to be. So this is strawberry or cherry, whatever you want it to be. So that's how you make it less thick. And if you wanted it to be thick, you would add in whatever color you want. And as you can see there, we've got the spoon with a little bit of jam in it now. And then we're going to be taking more of the Sahara. It's Sahara mixed with a little bit of yellow and brown. And you're going to flatten that out a little bit, and I've got a little tool that helps me cut out little hearts, cookie cutter. So we're going to be doing that for the two colors, and then we're going to lift that up with the X-Acto knife, and we're alternating here, so we're adding to make it pop. So we're adding in the little red heart in the peanut butter, and then we're taking the peanut butter heart and adding it into the jam. Just be a little careful, sometimes it can get stuck to your fingers like you can see there. And then we're going to just make sure it's where you want it to be placed, and we're going to be adding these into your toaster oven or your oven according to your clay's instructions. Now I'm going to be using some Sculpey gloss, and I'm going to be taking a small paintbrush and then adding on the gloss on top of only the jam and the peanut butter. And then you're also going to do this on the peanut butter, and that's why I like to still leave it inside of the useless clay there, and then also on the spoon. So once that's dry, we're going to be taking our round tip pliers and then using our flathead pliers, and then we're going to be making one loop around the round head pliers. After that, you're going to pull out your round head and hold on to the loop we just made, and then use your your flat head and just keep going in circular motions around the extra space you had left, and then you're just going to use some nail clippers and cut off the excess. Now we're going to be taking a necklace chain. So take a little loop you have and then add that to your chain, and then you can add on your toast to that and then close that up. And then what I like to do is use a smaller loop to hold on your little charm. So this one's going to be the spoon, and we're just going to add that in the chain and close that up. Thanks so much for crafting with me, everyone. Can't wait to see you on next Friday's crafty DIY. Bye!